All right, we can call the May 7th, 2024 Architecture Review Board meeting to order at 5:35. Roll call.
Gary Neola, Ryan Parsons,
Here.
Dennis Marino.
Here.
Okay, approval of the minutes for the ARB meeting held on April 16th, 2024. Haven't received any comments, and I'm assuming that's still the case. Sorry.
Great, I'll make it. Go ahead.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Okay, the meeting minutes are approved. Thank you, Ruth. First item on the agenda is ARB case 2413 at 23 West Bell Meadow Lane. New addition to the rear of existing house presented by applicant Matthew Wolf. Matt Wolf Architecture LLC. There we go.
Yeah, it's a simple addition off the back of the building. That site plan kind of sums it up right there, yeah.
Matt, if you need me to go to a certain page, just let me know. Okay?
Yeah, no, I think that right there is perfect. Thanks. It's small, the center of the back of the building, everything's to match. The roof is, on the existing building, it's not great. So we're gonna replace all that. So that's gonna be new asphalt, charcoal. It's kind of not charcoal. Yeah, so that's a little bit darker there.
It's a variegated roof.
Variegated is a nice way of putting it, yeah. Yeah, there it is, yeah.
Okay.
And, everything's to match. Initially, I thought it was all white, but that's not really the case. It's kind of this light gray, trim, gutters, and downspouts, so I'm gonna go ahead and match all that too. They did recite it recently, so we're gonna match that, which is white.
So the siding that's in the picture on the right is not glacier white.
Yeah, no, I apologize for that. No, it's gonna be the glacier white.
So the glacier white, that's just the type of siding, it's gonna be
Yep.
5 or whatever?
Yep, that's it.
Okay,
Vinyl sided.
okay. Nice.
Sorry.
I looked at what you're doing, I think it is pretty straightforward.
Yep. Very simple. I mean, it's fine. I think the missus of the house is living with her dad, and that's not going well, so she's got to get into the house. And so they need a little more space, and that's this. Yeah.
So you have an access panel that gets into the crawl space?
Yes. Well,
In the office area?
yeah, that's it. It'll be through there, yes.
Okay. That's fine.
That's the dash line.
How tall are the people? No. Do you have any comments?
It's pretty straightforward, it's pretty good.
That being said, I would make the motion to approve.
I'll second
it. Will second? Yeah. All in favor? Aye. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
I don't, well, this is, I think this was in the family, so I think this is his grandfather, as I understand. Okay. Yeah, but
Used to always see them walking in the neighborhood, is that it? One.
Yeah, no, absolutely, I got that going on at home. Thanks again.
Thanks, Matt, take care.
So I just, don't have a new business. I was thinking about some of the submissions that we've gotten recently that are, I mean, this was a good submission. Obviously, we get certain people come in with submissions that are easy to read, easy to understand, easy to approve, or approve is noted. But with the issue of getting submissions that are, I don't want to call them napkin sketches, but, you know, ones that are lacking. And I'm wondering, I happen to notice that Chagrin Falls is requiring, even though the code doesn't require it, they require their plans to be submitted by a registered architect. And I'm wondering if we can do that in South Russell. Do we have to, I mean, is that something that has to be changed through council? Or is it something that we can just say we want to do? I don't know what the answer to that is.
I'd say Thursday, we have a building committee meeting, I'll bring it up.
Okay,
I have to say,
You want to,
I'm not, I think maybe in certain circumstances we can draw some guidelines, but in general, I think there's a reason most municipalities do not require that.
right.
I mean, you
I know
want to set some
Chagrin is-
standards. Chagrin is just
Yeah, I know.
waiting for somebody to contest that, so.
Yeah, I don't know if you can legally do it or not,
Mhm.
you know, but I just,
If
I'm
there's
just trying to find a way to,
some kind of technical issue involved in the thing, but you know, where it would require that, but it really falls more into the building inspection side of it.
right.
so we're looking for a architecture stamp, stamp of an architect.
Yeah, which means it has to be prepared by an architect. It can't be just stamped. It has to be prepared by, I mean, ethically, legally, if an architect stamps drawings, he's got to be the one that authors them. And, you know, I realize there are people out there that are capable of doing it without being licensed architects. But we seem like we're getting these submissions that are, you know, I mean, Ruth, you and I, we go back and forth, like, tell them that they, you know, how many times do I send you an email telling you what's wrong with the
I know.
submission?
I know, and it's
I
after
mean, it's not,
they,
you guys aren't aware of some of it, and I'm not saying
Yeah.
you should be,
Oh, yeah.
but,
I've seen plenty of this.
we could maybe revisit those samples that we started talking about.
Sure.
I actually copied them and then I didn't bring them tonight. I didn't know we were gonna talk about it, but
That's okay, no, I'm familiar with what they are,
maybe just, and you know, it won't be unusual maybe to have somebody take a sample elevation, copy it, and then make it theirs. You know what I mean? Try to do it that way.
right.
Try to actually use our documents, not just as a reference, but as their submission.
That stuff's already out there too, though. Like,
What'd
I
you
felt
say,
like
Dan?
if they were going to do that, I mean, the requirements are there. They're listed.
Yeah, they are.
Yes, that information is easily available online already. in terms of examples of those types of things. And I don't know how many municipalities actually, I mean, Chagrin's, obviously, they do it, that's fine, but, because technically it's not even required by state for, residential.
No, I get that, that's,
Yeah.
I realize it's not.
Beyond like a design review or a board review, but even for construction or permit, it's not required, so.
Correct. Yeah, I'm tossing it out. I mean, if it's not, I guess what I'm trying to do is figure out how do we help applicants that don't want to hire an architect know what they got to submit so that it makes sense, because, to keep sending it back to them, or, then they come in, they get frustrated and aggravated that, like, why should I have to do that?
Right.
And,
Yeah, and Gary, the back and forth of a few in the past, and it's usually when they're trying to save money.
Right.
Whether they're getting their own contractors who don't choose to draw the plans for them in a way that we need them. That's
right.
common.
Oftentimes it's not even the homeowner trying to do the drawings.
Right.
It's a contractor,
Or a designer, something.
Yeah, usually, yeah, right. I mean, we had the one with Pellegrino was, that was quote unquote a designer. And,
Oh, Pellegrino, yes.
but I mean, there's a few other ones that have just been, they draw like a box, like my granddaughter could draw, and they say, here's my plans. They might even be to scale, but they're not descriptive enough to understand the detail that's going to go into their project. And so I'm just trying to think of how do
I know, it's
we
tough.
avoid that
I don't know
continuing
if you
happening.
can really when you're dealing with people and you're not just dealing with professionals. I mean, a lot of them just say, well, everything is going to, when I ask them to do the elevation such as presented where it's integrated into, well, it's just going to match existing.
Right.
It's just matching. They don't want to do that. They just want to say it's going to match what's there.
Yeah, my life would be a lot easier if I didn't have to tell people it's matching system.
I know. I try to tell them, well, the architects have to stamp this drawing as approved, and they should be able to hold it up against your finished addition, and it will be exactly the same. This is not what your addition is going to look like.
Right.
But they,
I mean,
it's a struggle sometimes. I agree. I'm so happy when architects come along.
no, I get it. Yeah.
But I know it's probably not realistic to require.
I mean, the crazy part is, and I would say this without trying to come off the wrong way, but this is South Russell. This isn't like some inner ring suburb of Cleveland that, where people are, it's not like there's an issue. I'm not saying everybody that lives in South Russell's got money to throw away, but it's not throwing it away, it's doing it right. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm making sense.
Well, a perfect example is the one you may know about, Ann Dunning, without
Sure.
mentioning names. She took on, this lady was putting a sunroom on the back of her house. She came in with drawings that literally your granddaughter could do better from an Amish guy, but she's saving, instead of spending 60 with patio enclosures, she's spending 25.
Mhm.
And that was why she was running back and forth to Burton or Middlefield to try and get this guy to comply with our requirements, and he wasn't doing it. He just didn't. I don't know if he had the wherewithal to get what we needed, but anyway, I think she ended up going to Ann. I don't know if I haven't heard another word on that.
No, I remember you telling me about it.
Yeah,
And nothing against the Amish, but I know that they don't draw, they don't fax, they don't email.
right,
They do have cell phones.
right.
Now they do, but
Yeah.
And they do fine work, most of them. I'm not saying that it's not a slam on their ability, just,
But the drafting part is not their strong point.
right. Well, and even certain contractors, it isn't their strong point either.
Right,
Whether they're
right.
Amish or not.
Yes, they're good at what they do, but
I mean, if you took
that's.
somebody like Dennis, he knows how to draw.
Do you often do plans for your clients?
I will do floor plans. I'm reluctant to get too far into the elevations because that's a little beyond my software.
Hmm.
I don't have the patience for plans, roof
Interesting.
Anyway,
generators.
it's just, I don't know what maybe we can't do anything and maybe going to the building committee is not worth,
We'll take a look.
I
Yeah, there's just, see, chagrin is a cautionary tale of, I've known people that want to replace a vinyl window that's, 25 years old and put a good window in their house. It's going to cost them, this a few years ago, it might have been $2,000-3,000. They got to go get kickback from the village. You have to have an architect do a design for them, stamp it, another $1,500 in, whatever, to be able to replace that window. That's kind of the cautionary tale on one end.
no, I get it,
But-
I haven't.
But then again, doing an addition like this, this makes it our life way easier, everyone's life.
Yeah, I'm sort of mixed, because I think if we did require it, we probably would get more, we would get better scenarios. But I'm also concerned about the cost of some simple things that we see that shouldn't have to require an architect. That's coming from an architect.
Right, I mean, some of us would have shut it, I don't expect them to be an architect.
Right, that's actually a perfect example, like if it's large enough, we have to review it.
Right.
But most of those, so.
Maybe any project over a certain amount. I have an architect.
I think even a designer, I don't know how you phrase it, but I mean.
Yeah, I mean, anybody can call themselves an architectural designer, though, that's the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to have any
Yeah.
qualifications to be a designer. And I know a lot of people who could do
Well,
it.
that's a drafts person, whatever, even that, somebody who knows how to operate.
Yeah, at that point, those requirements are already there.
Yeah.
Right.
In terms of.
And I don't care if they're hand drawn, I mean, it doesn't matter. We just did that for a long time, right? But, and part of where I'm coming from is, I feel bad for you, because you're the one that keeps getting the heat from these people.
That's okay, that's my job. I feel
I
bad
get
for
it,
you
should
because
have to deal with it, is what I'm
I
saying.
know, but it's just, I mean, I just try and impart to them that you would not get approved until you get what they need to view on the list. And they argue and back and forth why and all that. It's just our requirements, but it's frustrating at times, and I feel bad running it past you because, just see if this will be okay. Okay, but sometimes they just want to go to the next level because they might not believe me.
Right, I understand that, and I'm not frustrated with you.
I know.
I just feel like it's a waste of your time to have to keep going back and forth with these people.
Well, if anything at all, and I get paid hourly, so you know what I mean. But if anything, it leaves a bad taste in their mouth because it feels to them like this is a big roadblock, this is a hurdle, this is ridiculous. Not most of them aren't like that, but just a few, like one recently that took a few months of going through. But I think that that's what they're left with, that, boy, if you tell their neighbors, if you have to do anything in the village, you better start 6 months ahead because it's really tough to get through the architecture.
And we are,
No experience.
Yeah, I feel as though someone like that, no matter what we did, that's.
Yes, exactly.
That's true.
Because they don't believe they don't understand the value of this. And
That's
they
true.
would never, they're going to have that opinion
Right.
regardless.
Right. We
So
can't change how they
people
feel or
think-
what they say.
Yeah.
We're about as easy as it gets.
well, the other part of this is, okay, so a contractor might, there's two parts, okay? A contractor does a set of drawings, and they're running drawings, and he knows what he's gonna build, but the homeowner really doesn't know what they're gonna build, because the drawings aren't very explicit. So they're gonna get an argument somewhere down the road, and say, let's change it. Why? Well, we didn't figure that. Well, it's not on your drawings. No, it's not on your drawings. You know, I mean, that's one side to having an architect or a professional prepare drawings. You know, the other part is, let's say that the owner does it and he puts it out for pricing to a contractor. I mean, you're gonna get 10 different prices, you know, whatever. One's gonna be here, one's gonna be here. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's a value to having a set of drawings that is descriptive about what you're doing.
I agree.
And so I feel like
Tell
that's.
people that the price is as good as the plans.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
true.
you know, it's just the way it is, and I think that they missed the idea that there's value in having a well-prepared set of drawings. So,
And most people
I mean,
probably.
I wanna take these ones that come in with Google Earth and say, here's where we're putting the addition, you sketch it on the, you know, off of Google Earth. It's like, we say 1 inch equals 20 foot for a site plan.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's not a big deal, but I feel like we should enforce that. And, you know, you can say for addition, does that mean that somebody has to go out and get a surveyor to survey it? I just submitted a Sherman Falls for a project, and I took it off the website, figured out the size of the lot.
GIS, just a little bit of playing around, you can get pretty close.
But I drew the site plan as it was.
Yeah.
And Dominic down there said, well, it's cocked a little bit. It's fine, I'll fix it. I mean, he was good about it, you know, my point is that I gave them a site plan drawn to scale. I knew somebody wanted to put windows in the back of a house, and they said, you gotta draw it, you gotta submit that to the architect review board. The owner said, I'm not doing that. I don't know what they did, that's,
Right.
you know, it's silly stuff, but, and I understand, I mean, they would spend, I would have to charge them to do that, and I get it for doing a window, like, right? So, I mean, shake your heads, you gotta, if you're gonna replace windows, you have to come and present,
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I mean, it's
I think.
very easy.
We are, but they don't have anything to compare it to. But once in a while, you get somebody who says, I really value what you do here. I'm glad that the boards are here for, we want to protect the community, all that stuff. Very seldom. Most people, we are an obstacle, not just the boards, but
Right.
the whole permitting process. Just something to just
Right.
get done, get out of the way. They don't, even the homeowners, I don't think, realize why we're doing that. We're not doing it to get, somebody said the other day that he knows that we're badmouthed by contractors, and contractors are always telling them, we're just doing it for the money. Oh my
You're doing it for the money?
Yeah.
Yeah, they consider it a form of taxation, that's all they think of.
Yeah, but I said, we're losing money on every permit, you know, right? Literally, we're losing.
Yeah.
You know, but so they don't, they just think if it's, and, you know, government has this,
I was just talking to somebody in Lyndhurst, building commissioner.
John Michael.
Yeah, he goes, they just raised the rates for, architecture review for, like, I think it's, I don't know, what is that?
I don't know.
But I think it's like, to submit is something like $150 or $175 to submit, so.
And, you know, what,
We're at 90?
90, which is really cheap. I also think that getting them to pay if they have to resubmit.
Yeah, I think that
That would,
We proposed that previously, and that was shot
I
down.
know, it's been talked about, but no, yeah, I know. We should
Who
do that.
shuts it down? I'm just curious, is it,
Council.
Council.
oh, council shuts it down? Tell council they can be the architecture review board and see how they like it.
Oh,
Yeah, do something over and over, yeah, how do you like that?
Yeah.
But I know that Lyndhurst just raised their rates for demos and stuff. I just noticed that the TRW building came down,
Yeah.
and my son-in-law's company did
Oh,
the
did it?
demo. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
My wife grew up on
What
Bolton
was
State.
the Bolton? Oh my God, we couldn't think of it, Bill and I. The Bolton. Okay, thank
Yeah.
you, thank you.
So she's been, it's been, I'd love to go back there and see her sister and brothers, they'd like to go back and see the Bolton house stay at the house.
But there's still that little cottage in the shopping area. Did you see it?
Yeah,
Back there?
anyway, All right, well, maybe we should adjourn the meeting. I don't think we decided on anything, but if there's any way we can find, you know,
We'll talk about it Thursday.
yeah. All right, so we'll adjourn the meeting at 5:59.
Okay.
All right.
Get a permit in Little Hills. I only jumping through other hoops with Little Hills and their fees are crazy. Then you go through that.